Morning everyone, Grant from Four Wheeling in New South Wales. Thanks for joining us for another video. It's just a short one today to show you how I've mounted my Exittrax recovery boards on our roof racks. I got the traction boards just recently as a present, and I've done a separate review on my product spotlight info. I'll put the links below. And we had to find a way of mounting them onto the roof rack. Had a couple of people ask, so I was just going to do a quick clip on that, show you how I've done it, what I knocked up, and hopefully it might help others to come up with ideas for something themselves, you know, homemade. If you don't want to buy something off the shelf, or you can't find something, or
turn left.
Thank you, Nav lady. Yeah, so not everyone can afford to buy the expensive mounting systems, or you may not find something that suits your setup properly. And I'm a huge fan of homemade stuff, so anyone got anything that they want to share that they've done?
Then turn right.
If anyone's got anything that they want to share that they've done to their vehicle, by all means, please email me through some shots via our Facebook page. Just let these cyclists come past. Yeah, send us some pics and some details to our Facebook page. Love to see them, all for homemade.
Turn right.
I'm going to pull over and switch her off. One sec, guys. The mighty mute button. Okay, as I was saying before, I was interrupted by Google Map woman. So, love homemade stuff. Send us some pics via our Facebook page. I'd love to see what you've done. Our roof racks are nothing fancy. They're just the ProRack brand P-bar, I think it is. They're about 11 or 1200 wide. We used to have them on a previous vehicle, but when it died, I took them off and bought the fitting kit for the little Suzuki. And that way we can keep using them on this vehicle, and it works a treat. So nothing fancy, but yeah, made our own mounts up. Watch out, this silly looking bloody duck on the road just had a go at me. He's run out with his mouth open trying to hit me. Where was I? Yes. So it's just a basic standard P-bar setup, and we've just made some modifications to it ourselves. So anyway, almost at the spot. Alright guys, so I've pulled over and I'll show you how this mounting board works that I've made up. I don't have my little tripod, it's dropped out of the bag at home, so bear with me. I'll try and get the best footage I can for you, but yeah, I'll show you how it works. So all it is, so that's, as you would have seen already in the video, that's the boards up on the side of the car now as they sit. That's how we use them for travelling. And then all I've done, so this front and rear L brackets were off an awning I had on this side originally as well, which I've since stopped using. So I'd made up the shovel holder, which you'll see in another video. I'll put links below. And those hoops there, or loops, hooks, whatever you want to call them, they used to sit through the L bracket and come out this side, and the shovel handle would actually be sitting here, not where it is. But then what I ended up doing to mount these up, I simply flip those around, so the shovel holder's obviously on the inside now. I just got a bit of plate steel from my local steel place, cut to the length so it finishes flush with the front of the front bracket, and around the back here it finishes, getting under there, it finishes flush there with the rear L bracket. So it's cut to the same size so there's no overhang. And then on the back of it, I'll just jump around this side, I'll show you on the back of it what I did. I actually drilled 4 holes through originally to put 4 bolts on, but it was a real pain in the backside trying to line the holes up in the exact spot, because you kind of had to mount the boards onto the steel plate first, drill it all, but then you couldn't fit that on. If you fitted that on, you couldn't then mount the boards up. So they're almost spot on in place. 2's enough to hold those boards anyway, because they're not really heavy and they're not flapping around while you drive or anything. So I'm not too phased by the other 2 holes, and as it turns out now I can use those as a lining holes when I put the boards on to clip them on. But basically I've just drilled the 4 holes that line up with the traction board through the steel, as you can see there, at the top and bottom. And then I just went to the hardware and bought a couple of those locking pins. I can't think of the actual name they call them, but they do sell them at the hardware, and they're just a split pin on a spring setup, or it's like a spring setup. So I'll grab them off and show you. So how they work, if I can hold this camera somehow. Yeah, all it does, if I can see where I am here, all it does, that there flips over the pin, like so, and then you simply pull that out to get the boards off, like that. Same with this one on the bottom. So you literally flick it over, pull that pin out, like that. That's it. So there it is, now off. That's just the board that stays on the car all the time, as you can see. What I did, the holes in the traction boards were 16mm, so I just went and got a couple of 16mm bolts from the hardware and just drilled the hole through, trying to get the light so you can see it, but drilled the hole through there, and I've made it that the hole sits just past the back of that black mounting plate so that the pin fits through nice and snug and tight, and it stops them rattling around when you drive. So yeah, super quick to get off. I'll put the cost of it below. I think that piece of steel was about 14 bucks or something. It already had the shovel holder mounts and all made, so there was no additional sort of cost. So yeah, it was just the bolts and that steel and a bit of black paint that I had from when I resprayed my little drifter fire pit. So anyway, I'll sit this back down and show you. So we line the holes up like so, and that's it, done. Pop your pins back in and away you go. Jump back up, there's your bolt sitting there, you got your pin. So yeah, as you can see, the hole is only just snug past the black mounting plate, but that's all you want, and that way the pin locks in nice and tight, like that. Flip over, that's one done. It's really difficult doing this one-handed and trying to hold a camera, but yeah, you can see there. So that one's the same thing. Pop it up from underneath, through like that, flip that over, and they're not coming out anywhere, no way. Nice and snug, tight as anything. So one thing that is worth noting, that because of the inside of this wall being tapered, it's lower at the bottom than it is at the top. The head of the bolt didn't sit flush on that raised up section. It was sitting out, which meant then when you pushed these on, you couldn't get the pin at the back. It wouldn't go through because the bolt wasn't coming through far enough. So what I ended up doing, I don't know if it's showing up there, it's a little bit hard to see, but I shaved with a file the top and the bottom flat section, which doubles up then as like a locator, if you like, or you know exactly where it is because it's on the top and bottom. But yeah, I shaved them down so they're not flat like that edge, they're actually like a semi-curve, and that way it can sit down that extra 1 or 2 mil, which allows the back of the bolt then to sit right through the mounting here. So yeah, super easy, super quick. As I said, if you pull up, come unstuck in the mud or whatever, and you need to grab them off real quick, there's no having undo keys and screw posts off like some of the shop bought ones. They're like a long threaded section with a key lock or something on the top, so it's a little bit slower to get them off, and you really want to grab traction boards off, fast to get out of mud or a big bog hole. We tend to try and avoid them as much as possible, but you just never know. These are really good insurance if you do get stuck, especially on your own. But what I'll do anyway, I'll pop this camera down if I can suction it on somewhere, and I'll just show you how quick they are to get off. So I've got them up on there, just hit a mud hole, simply lean around, grab the ring, flip it over, that's one out, up under there, flip the ring down, another one out, there, done. You're getting out of the mud hole. Put them back on, done. That's it, that's how simple it is. Put your pin back in the bottom. So I've got a big truck coming down the road. Pin in the bottom, this one will go through the top hole, which I can never find the alignment for. You jump up, that's it, done.
So there you go, guys. That's our homemade mounting system for our Exittrax. Really hope that helps you guys. As I said, not everyone can buy an off-the-shelf product for their recovery boards, whatever brand they are. And I just thought that might help you come up with something for your roof rack. So thanks a lot for the support, really appreciate it. Make sure you send those photos through of any homemade mods you've done to your setup. Love to see them. You can send them through on Facebook or Instagram. No matter what the mod is, love to see it. And we can post it up on the page and give you credit for it as well. Thanks again, really appreciate the support. Make sure you hit like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and hit the notification bell so you know when all new content comes up. And as we always say, don't forget, stress less, camp more. Cheers, guys.